everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Struther.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. The lion. New music so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Struther.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
1, 2, 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday from Washington Football Week.
Love it.
Happy birthday. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
I'm so embarrassed.
Let's go. What's going on? It's your boy Sean Spencer. What have that dynamic duo? That's Let's Talk Football. Yo, first and foremost, I know we talk Washington, but we gotta show love. My man's birthday was yesterday. Ab, look, and I'm not. Hey, Ab, I gotta sit here. I gotta be honest with you, man. I didn't put anything up. I didn't even talk to you yesterday on purpose because I had a little something, man. I had a little something. Ab, we've been doing this show for too long. You've been riding and dying with me for too daggone long. I gotta go to show you some love, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with Ablo. I got my man Anton Benton, Mr. Moral Support, Mr. Dub K. Okay, you already know South Carolina's eggplant, and my man Ablo. But I gotta give you a little something, Ab. I gotta give you a little something, man. I gotta shout out the man that they all ask about, the shirtless wonder. Let's go. So I'm gonna go segue to that into Offseason Moves because guys, and Abdul, I'm gonna start with you, man. Are we excited? Because look,
it's the same thing as Grossman and John Beck.
Oh, God.
God.
I said those Bamas. That's what I said. That's what I said. And the reason why we had to go with them Bamas is because we had no money. We got money. Why we acting like? Why we gonna move like we shopping in the clearance bin? Nah, man. Nah.
What's up, man? How we feeling tonight? How we feeling, man?
Great.
Good.
I'm prime and ready to disagree with everybody. So let's go.
Oh, hey, my man, Anton Benton. What's the word? What's going on, man? Welcome back, buddy.
Who?
Hey, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm gonna give you a name so y'all can hate me later. I'm gonna say Reuben Foster. Valid backup, bro. You can't tell me nothing, man. This dude is gonna be cheap and there's like a high ceiling, bro. Let's go, Reuben Foster. Okay.
You can have him.
Abdul,
I'm not done yet. I'm not done
You're
yet.
not done?
Oh, okay. He's got more.
Can I finish?
Let's go.
If it's more Reuben Fosters, no. But go.
There it is, man. Because you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's poetic justice.
Oh, okay.
Poetic.
There it is.
And it won't stop us from getting another quarterback, paying for another quarterback. You know what I mean? So
the thing with Fitzpatrick.
I didn't interrupt you.
Oh, darn it. You're not done. You sure you got more to say?
I didn't interrupt you. There was no pause.
I gave him the magic. Give me that. Let me get that for cheap. But Ab, I'm gonna give it to you, and then we got to get off Fitzpatrick.
I already been off this man for real. I already been backs. I'm okay. I'm excited. like that is just something that like I'm like moist about. So like it's like I'm good with it.
Moist about it. Okay.
All right, it's been fun, guys.
Right,
I'm
right.
good.
Will, what you think, Will? Hold on.
That is just something that like I'm like moist about. So like it's like I'm good with it.
Moist about it. Okay.
All right, it's been fun, guys.
Right,
I'm
right.
good.
Will, what you
Yo,
Let's go.
dying over here, bro.
Let's go.
Dying.
Yo,
I'm crying, man.
Those highlights.
yo, there was so much footage out there. I was sitting there combing through so many things, but it was just like there was so much stuff that was left out. That was the bloopers and just amazing jokes and stuff like that. But I had to do something for you, and that's what I was gonna do it last night for the show. And then you was like, oh, I don't want to do it. So I was like, all right, let me hold it. Let me get a couple more clips in there. Yo, happy birthday to you. We appreciate you. Like you don't even believe, man. We know we love you to death, man. Shout out to you, baby boy. Let's go.
Bless you guys, man. That was awesome, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate all of you, even you, Anton. So like, definitely love being here every week, guys. Let's have many more shows. Let's give them something to watch today. Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And as part of your birthday, and somebody that shares their birthday with you, the great Washington Redskin, London Fletcher. You know what I mean? Shout out to him, man. One of the most underrated linebackers in NFL history. I mean, do we agree with that? What do you think, man?
Yes.
I absolutely agree with it. Underrated, underappreciated. You know what I'm saying? Like this man, like they did a side by side with Ray Lewis, and there wasn't much of a difference between the two. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And the only difference is one's in the Hall of Fame and the other one isn't.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just one of those things. It's like, what are we really looking for out of a Hall of Famer? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because my man did it. And he didn't miss. Then he had the longest streak for a number of games too, right?
Yep.
Bro, like honestly, like if that's not Hall of Fame material, I don't know what is, man. I'm confused. I really am. Oh, and let me add this real quick too. So I mean, two Washington greats, the same birthday and everything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Two Washington greats.
Two Washington greats, man. It don't get no better, man. I mean, for real, it just don't get no better. And I'm gonna add this because it's along the lines of all the great people that were born on May 19th and why that day should be a holiday. My man Malcolm X.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
I'm
yes,
saying.
Sir.
We share the same birthdays, man. We share the same birthdays.
Exactly.
I'm okay with it.
I love it. Yeah, and so I mean, hey, he had the streak of games. Will, come to you. He had the streak of games. Played for several teams. I mean, he had amazing years with us, but a lot of people remember him from those years with the Rams. I mean, this guy was a legit linebacker, and not being in the Hall of Fame is it's upsetting, honestly, with how great he was.
You know? Yeah, I think the problem is, I've said it, underappreciated, kind of like I can't think of the right word. It's not underknown. Is it not known, basically. He played for the Bills, and then he came to Washington. And, if you look at those times, those teams weren't very good. So, aside from when we would play on national TV against the NFC East, he wasn't really getting showcased. So I think that maybe throughout the country, people don't really know how good he was. And it's a shame because, like you said, there's nothing about his stats that should be preventing him from being in there.
Right.
It just must be a popularity contest. And he was not a marketable player for the NFL. He was the grind it, do everything right, but just not be this showboat. And maybe that doesn't sell tickets. I don't know.
He definitely wasn't the noticed one.
Anton, he's your guy. He is literally the guy that you vouch for. He is the leader in the locker room. He's Mr. Moral Support, but he can back it up, Anton.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what you think, man?
I mean, honestly, he was the dirt dude. Like, he always did his thing. He didn't talk about a lot. He just went out there. He played his football. Came in every game, gave his heart out, and did it. But, you know, he did it with the Saints. He did it with us. And it sucks that he wasn't as noticeable with our team. Like, we didn't have those big night games where everybody wanted to see him. Our 1 o'clock games, a lot of our players didn't get noticed. And he was one that him and Kerrigan, you know, were two diligent, hardworking athletes.
Yeah.
Fletcher just never got the notice. You know, he wasn't the Ray Lewis on Spotlight on Monday Night Football, you know. And I'm proud of him and what he did for our team regardless. He definitely set a bar, I think.
Yeah. And so shout out to him and Malcolm X and Abdul Lowe, the triple threat, okay, on May 19th.
Big day.
Shout out to you, man.
May 19th. I didn't know it was so special.
Right. I didn't know it was like that, but okay. But all right. So moving on, man. You already know this past week, Will, I'm coming to you. This past week, we had the rookie mini camp. Rookies are coming out. We've heard about a lot of other teams, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields and things like that. I haven't really heard much news about us, except I have been hearing about the Samus Reyes. He's kind of balling out. He's doing this thing. Anton, I know you were talking about it, but Will, like, have you heard anything major about it? What do you think? Have you been watching the rookie minicamp?
This is the ultimate tease right here. This is what the NFL does right after the draft. There's nothing going on here the month of May. They throw this rookie mini camp. Reporters come back so that they can be covering it so we can follow along and watch guys run individual drills and drool over their speed, drool over their ability to catch and run. Oh, he's so fast. But, you know, it was a fun chance to see some of the players out there for the first time, numbers going out, seeing them, you know, in position, you know, where they're going to be. Obviously, Reyes, it seems to be someone that everyone's got their eyes on. I thought he looked, from the few camps and some notes, he looked like he can do something in the passing game, looked like really raw in the blocking department, which makes, you know, they got a lot of work to do with this guy, it certainly seems like. I heard some reporter, this didn't make any sense to me, where they said they thought he would be practice squad material. And I thought, if he gets on the practice squad, he's not on our team. He will get snatched up by somebody. Like he's like an all or nothing, you know, type guy. But you know, it's fun to see him out there. There's not a whole lot, but it's good to see him get out there again. I think this weekend, starting today, the vet camp starts today or starts tomorrow. So you know, they're getting back on the field, getting back to normal, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and Anton, it's definitely a tease, man. It's definitely a tease. It's exciting to hear this, but at the same time, it's like it's May.
You know, it goes back to, you know, what we talk about is trying to get all these basketball players on. We'll see how it is when they put pads on, you know. And it's good that we're hearing those things from the camp. Like, we're not hearing we didn't sign this guy just for nothing. Like, I hope he's all show and all go, like the reports are saying. But, you know, I'm still going to be optimistic of how much basketball is still left in him before he gets hit, you know.
Right.
You know, like some of the rookie defensive players are starting to get their name out there. I've been hearing about them. But we'll hear more next week. I'm going to sit back and wait till next week.
Just pay attention. Just keep it quiet. And yeah, man, I love it, but like I said, it's May, you know. But there's some lookers. There's some people we're looking at. What do you think, Ab?
We talking about practice?
Right.
I knew it was gonna go there.
We talking about practice? Man, I want to talk about the game, and we talking about practice.
Right.
I'm sorry, man. Like, you don't sit there and like how many of the players are on the field at that time? 8,
Right.
9. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk, bro. Like we're really man.
Yeah.
Like I just like, to me, it's fun to be like, yeah, we got the guys out there. But this is like orientation, bro. It's like where can my locker be? You remember middle school orientation?
Yep.
Like my locker over here, yo,
Right.
my locker.
Yeah, you're not even kicked out the locker room yet.
Right.
Nah, man. This is where you find out if like where your locker is and everything, and then they make sure that they did the right thing about signing a contract with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
They definitely got to see where your
a
heart
few
is.
drills. They're playing catch out there. I'm telling you, no offense, I see better catches from my 8-year-old. Like, how are you going to sit there and judge a person off a catch?
Right.
Like,
Right.
there's no one giving them pressure. There's no one, like, you get what I'm saying? There's no pressure. There's no jumping
Showboat
over
doesn't
anybody.
compete to a
Like,
real
there's
game.
no coverage. There's nothing. So
Yeah.
it's, to me, we can't really sit there and judge any of this. Is it exciting? Yes. Do I love it? Yes. But to me, but to make it any more than that,
Yeah.
nah, man, we can't do
Not gonna
that.
do it.
We can't.
Nah.
We just can't.
Because like you said, it's just practice. We
It's
talk
just
about
practice, man.
Practice, man. We talk about practice.
you know. And in this time, and Will alluded to it, that we will be having the vets will be coming back, and again, they're running the drills, they're getting to know each other. A lot of this is camaraderie, it's the chemistry. You know, some of those things kind of get built. You know, knowing your position, and with that, we've been making some moves, but a couple little small moves we have been making. We picked up linebacker from the 49ers, Joe Walker. You know, add depth at linebacker.
Yes.
And Anton, we picked up Chris Miller, the ex-Cardinal safety.
Yes.
You know, he's kind
So
of
I
been
think
around.
like we're trying to get him on. You know, we're still getting a lot of bodies on our defense, and you know, we're kind of funneling down who wants to play on our defense. Like we already got our front four. Now our linebackers and our deep threats really need to work at it. Like, are we going to have like the defensive doom, you know, back there all of a sudden? Like, we want that depth, and having, you know, Chris Miller and having him as a cornerback coming in, you know, it's definitely going to help speed wise on the edge. Like I said, it's just going to be another body to try out, see how good he does next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Joe Walker, again, this is not a name that I'm familiar with. I noticed in you guys gave me this in the group chat, and he played the most special team snaps for San Francisco, which is solid. I mean, you can find a spot on special teams, but depth. This is a depth move to me. I mean, am I wrong about that?
No, you're not. It's just depth. Like, honestly, I'm not tripping on it. I mean, we let go one of our draft picks for him, though. So Clemens Harvey, we let him go. So I mean, it's got to be something. Shows that he's a better cover man than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, as long as it especially our weakest position group on the team, make that better, I'm all about it. And then if he can help out on special teams, because I mean, I know we talk a lot about linebackers previously about them being the worst group, but special teams, that is straight hot garbage, bro. For years, he's been straight garbage. So if we get him, get Reyes, get some quick people out there on special teams, maybe they hit those blocks a little bit faster, and then the return mans can run up right after them. Honestly, I can see that being on Ron's mind. Is we need quicker special teams players. So I'm all about it. If he's a little bit faster, like balls to the wall. Let's go. Let's go.
But I'm with it. And Will, man, I honestly, both these guys, I feel like could make the team if they're trying to make the team. They're not the big names. They could make it through special teams. That seems to be their avenue to get on the team. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing you got to look at with this guy is where are his ties? And he gets brought in. He came from San Francisco, where our current general manager was last year. You know, like I said, he had the most snaps on them. So it looks like there's something there that they liked. It's an interesting move to me only because that means all three backup linebackers that we have are special teams guys. You got this guy. You've got Jared Norris, who was on the team last year, came from Carolina with Ron, and then they signed the dude from the Giants, I think David Mayo. So the only thing that's a little bit concerning about that is these guys aren't necessarily people who get on the field and contribute, but they are special teams guys. And, you know, one of the things we keep talking about depth, you guys, the two of you up top, can talk about this way more than I can, but, you know, from what I've always been told, if you're a starter, you may not be playing special teams as much. So if you load your team with depth of former starters, they may not have as much experience in special teams. So having some of your depth be guys who that's what they do. Special teams can, like you said, improve it a little bit. But you guys obviously would be able to speak a little bit more on reps than I can.
I can speak to it.
Go ahead.
I can speak to it because up until my senior year, I was behind Mr. Lowe over here.
Man, stop that, man.
I got a lot of special teams play. All right, varsity. I got a lot of special teams play. All right. Go ahead, Ab.
So you are correct. Like if you to me, I think. So starters, they will not play special teams. I honestly like it's not going to happen. Like what if we're not talking high school. We're not talking that. We're talking like professional. So it's a bit different. Like in high school, honestly, you play quarterback, safety. Hell, if you can throw the ball to yourself, you're a running back and a wide receiver. So it's literally one of those situations in high school. But in the pros, if you're starting, you're making starter money, and they say you're the starter, even if you were special teams prior, you're not special teams anymore because they're not going to risk you getting hurt on one play and then not be there for the defense. You know what I'm saying? Or the offense. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. Even in some cases, if you're the number 2 guy, you might not even be on special teams. You know what I'm saying? But these linebackers, like what you want out of a special teams player is these linebackers, is these second string running backs, cornerbacks. They even got some of the wide receivers out there in special teams. You know what I'm saying? Like when you play football, you just want to be on the field. You know what I'm saying? If you're not the starter, best way to get on the field is by special teams. Right. So, I mean, it's one of those things. And to have starting experience, that's just a plus. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the number 1 falls out. Hey, Mayo, we need you to go in there for Davis. Go ahead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he'll be able to. The point of bringing the backup is to not miss a beat. And that's what they're getting by getting these experienced backups and that've been in the league for a while. And I think it's a good move, man.
What's with them trying to buy Reuben Foster and then picking this guy up? Like, are they really trying to get from some San Francisco linebackers? Like,
Reuben Foster is not on our team anymore.
I'm saying they tried to pick him up 3 years ago. That didn't work, and now we're going right back to a San Francisco linebacker.
Well, I mean, Reuben Foster also blew out his knee, so I mean, it's not exactly apples to apples.
Yeah, I don't think you can make that connection, bro. Like,
I'm saying, like, what's with us going to San Francisco to pick up their linebackers? Like,
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that's a reach, bro.
It's
like, I heard you the first time.
Yeah,
I heard you the first time.
Well, don't hear me again, God dang it.
Shanahan's out there. Familiarity. Same reason that Trent Williams went over there. Jordan Reed went over there. We got who's their tight end? Fred, you don't know what I'm talking about. No,
Smooth?
The tight end that we got from San Francisco.
David Kerrigan years ago?
No.
Recently?
85.
Bernie Davis.
Bernie Davis. He came from San Francisco, right? Then we traded.
You're looking at me like I said the wrong name, but you totally went somewhere else with
You
that.
said Fred Smooth. He said tight end, and you got
I was thinking Fred Davis. I was thinking Fred Davis. Remember that time? Remember we had him for like a year or so? Okay, I was wrong. All right, get out of my back. I'm wrong. All right.
Wow.
But yes, I'm saying the reason why is because we have that connection with San Francisco, or it just might have been a fluke thing. I don't know. But this guy can play multiple things, and he can play now. Like what Will said, Foster had the injury. So, and with a lot of people that we've noticed, if you can't stay on the field, a la Bryce Love, you can't justify you being there. They can't justify you being here. So we have to go ahead and move on to the longest running segment on Washington Football Weekly. Like it, love it, or hate it. Let's get it. Where we sit here and bring up certain topics that have to do with Washington football or just in the NFL, and we give our 2 cents on it. So we're going to go ahead and start. Dan Snyder and Jason Ryan are starting to go on a stadium tour looking for new stadiums. We've already seen there's a lot of different stadiums that have been springing up. The most recent one we know is the Raiders Stadium that's opening up, and it's just this masterpiece, this colossal, amazing. So, and we also know that, and I should just look this up, it's actually they postponed the demolition of RFK Stadium till 2022. Ooh. So essentially, we had that stadium. We're out of that. We're in FedEx, but we're trying to move on. So, Ab, come to you. Like it, love it, or hate it. How you feel about this?
Starting to go with the same to him. I'm okay with it. I like it. I like it. I don't hate it. I don't really care. It's like it's one of those things. It's just like I'm okay. Like I want a new stadium? Oh yeah, who doesn't like new shit? Like I like new shit, so like let's go. But I mean, it doesn't matter right now. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we have the stadium at not RFK, FedEx until 2027. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, do I want the latest thing? Like, honestly, if it's anything like, well, it's going to be better than Cowboys. It's going to be better than the Raiders. Honestly, if it's better than the Cowboys, that's really all I'm gunning for. Like, honestly, that'd be what's up, man. So yeah. It's gonna be crazy, bro. I think we're gonna do some things. Oh, didn't LA get a new stadium too?
Mm-hmm. That's where they ordered that.
Yeah, is that the newest one, or is Las Vegas? One of the two, but yeah. So honestly, I think that's awesome. Just make it a dome, so I don't have to freeze my ass off or burn my ass off, depending on which side of the stadium I'm on. So that's all that really matters to me.
Exactly. Will, what you got, man?
So I like/love this because if there's one thing that it can be good to have Daniel Snyder as an owner, it's he's gonna have a pissing contest with Jerry Jones on if I'm going to build the stadium, what can I do? And so I like that he's out there in LA. That's where they found him today, looking at the new Rams stadium, and looking at who's done the latest and greatest. So I'm very much excited about that part. I'm with you, Ab. It needs to be a dome. If they don't, they're stupid because you're never going to get the Super Bowl if you don't get it. So why put millions and millions of dollars in if you don't get this? Because if you build it, you will get it. That's how the NFL works.
Exactly.
You had the perfect chance to be like, if you build it, they will come. And you totally messed it up. You totally messed it up. Get out.
It is true. If you build it, the Super Bowl will come. You are
you had the perfect
literally
chance.
A field of dreams.
You had it.
Dropped.
Oh
but
man.
Here's the bigger deal for me. It's not what the stadium is going to be, it's where. And that's the info that is going to be most important. Will they be able to go back to the RFK site? Will they stay and just rebuild on where FedEx is because Dan owns that land? It'd be terrible. Or do they make their way out to Virginia somewhere? I mean, we're going to find out here in November what happens, because if Virginia elects Terry McAuliffe as governor, he's very pro-Washington football, and he wants them to come. And before he was as governor, he was already talking to Snyder about where can we build a stadium. Now, since then, there's been a lot of building in Northern Virginia, so good luck finding land. Go ahead, Ad. You got something?
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut in. Anton, you got something, bro?
Interrupting again. No, honestly, like, I wish they did, put that spot in the RFK old stadium spot. It was right in the middle of everything. Plus, if he tries to go for the new big and baddest, he's got like the Washington Nationals stadium as well to compete with, like new technology over there, new technology over here, like keeping it within the Washington, in DC. But I hope he keeps it in DC and not goes back over to FedEx Field, because it's a hassle to walk over there. It's a hassle to get over there, and it was just a bad location when they chose it. Period. Go ahead.
Nationals. I don't know baseball like that, but it's not an old stadium. It's new to us, but it's an old stadium, right?
It's just the way they designed it better for where
so
it
they
was.
renovated
It was new.
The location. Oh, the location.
Okay,
Like,
so
that's what I like about it.
okay. But then RFK, I mean, we're talking about that, but just to go on off what you were saying, it's a bad location. It really is. Like, honestly, like, even when the Redskins weren't even playing there anymore, they were doing like these like yard sale kind of things in there and everything like that. Even going to that was like traffic and anxiety and everything like that. And made me not even want to go. And this was like right after they left. So, I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it happens. Because, like, you would want the sports like Baltimore, Ravens and the Orioles right down the street from each other. Like, having the metro right there, the easier access rather than the 2-mile hike.
But you could do the metro in Ashburn. And that's too easy, man.
True. They could be out there in Loudoun County.
Do you know that they're building the metro out towards the Greenway? Did you know that, Anton?
Oh, already. Yeah, I mean, they already got.
All I know is the white line. The white line that went out to the Dulles Airport. That was the last one I've heard.
Yeah, they're building out towards the Greenway, man. They're past the airport now.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
now you've given me a different avenue of what they might do if that's in the setup.
But you still think of. Well, sorry. Go ahead, Adam. Oh wait.
Yeah, let me get this point off. They just made DC, right? They just voted DC as the new state, right?
Yeah.
So that means.
Did it go through? I think they tried to, but I don't know if it fully went through.
I thought they voted on it and voted it to become a state.
I think like the House voted on it, but the Senate has to vote on it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So. Once that happened, the mayor is already said that she wants the sports team to be in DC. She said it publicly herself. And once that, so just like you said, new governor in Virginia, and then the mayor, if they become a state, she becomes a new governor. So, boom, whoever gets that first gets the stadium, bro.
It's going to be the luck of the hat draw with that.
Money, but also the money. You got to raise up the money. Hey, I'm going to go to you, Will, in a second. Look, I'm with you guys on the dome. Me personally, I hate it for two reasons. Number one, I'm a diehard RFK guy, so I don't like this. Hey, get out of here. Don't start that with me. Okay?
Stop it.
Brandon Scherf. I don't hear it.
Right? Just mute on him.
That's why he's so dark, because he's been playing games in that sun.
Wow, that's where we're going, Oregon. Okay,
I'm just kidding.
Man. So no, but we have that with it. But then also this means that, and I agree with you, Will, that Dan Snyder is a great, like when it comes to like measuring himself and dick measuring contests and all that stuff. He's gonna sit there and not spare any expense. He's gonna sit here and go all the bells and whistles. And he's gonna try to go after the Jerry Jones and all those big owners and things like that. And he's gonna try to do that. But what this also means that is, like I've alluded to, that we still have the contract until 2027. that means he's going to be here until that time. You know what I mean? Which means we potentially have to deal with this mess for that. So is it worth that? I don't really know. But at the end of the day, it's like when you see the other kids getting new toys and new things, and you're like, well, dang, I didn't want one before. I was content before, but now I'm like, would be nice. It would be nice. Oh, these people just got the new phones. Oh, I didn't really need one. There's nothing wrong with mine, but now I'm like, well, maybe I do need one. You know what I mean?
But when he made a good point when he said Super Bowl, and I wasn't even thinking of that. So to me, that is a very valid point. Even though I don't think you need a dome in order to get a Super Bowl, but I do think that we need a new stadium to get a Super Bowl. I do agree with that.
See, I would argue with you because remember when they went to New York, they gave New York a chance, and they got really lucky. The weather wasn't terrible, but the year before, it was snowmageddon up there. And I just think on the NFL's biggest stage, they don't want weather to be a factor at all. They have to deal with it in Florida, but they would prefer knowing that they can have perfect conditions in their biggest stage.
I agree with that. I just don't think they would I know they thought of that when they agreed to New York having it. There's no way they were like it was like they were lucky that it was a good day. But I'm just saying they were prepared to play in some crap. Like it's not like you know what I'm saying.
Prepare for the worst on that.
But have they gone back? Is it even up for consideration? I mean, they plan these stuff out 5 years, in advance. New York is never being considered again. It's like they tried it. They gave them because they could make revenue. It's like, and now they're like, nope, we're not coming back. In my opinion.
I mean, there's a rotation. Like they're not going to go. Oh, New Year 5 years. Oh, we're going to come back to you next year. It was so much fun, and then we're going to go to you next year. Nah, man, everyone else got to get a turn.
Right. It plays in. No. It plays into it. But a lot of things have to do with it, and I wouldn't doubt some of Dan Snyder's issues have to do with it because if the Super Bowl came to here, that means he'd be on the front, he'd be in the spotlight. And I don't think everything that's been going on, they trying to do that. But look, we got to go on. We have to move on. We actually discussed this, me and Will did a week ago. We've been making a lot of moves. I'm going to start with you, Anton. Washington made a signing among the first of a bunch of signings and releasings that we've been making. But we made a signing, I think it was last week, where we picked up ex-Bears left tackle Charles Leno. For a while, we didn't understand it. And now with some of the other things that just came out, just happened, we get it now. It kind of makes more sense. But how do you feel about this, Ab? You started a couple years in Chicago. How do you feel about this?
Are you talking to me?
Anton. I'm sorry.
I actually do like the decision. It's a tough 50-50 between me, like letting go Charles Moses. Yes, it should have happened a while ago. Morgen Moses. And so now it's like, all right, now we got Charles Leno. Okay, we can try him out for a while. He was consistent, but we'll see. Like, I like the decision that we're flipping in different bodies and trying a new system.
Okay. I get you. Will, what you got? You good?
What a difference a week makes is all I'll say. After everything we're going to get to later on, I'm glad they picked them up, seeing what their game plan was. So glad they got him.
Yeah. Ab.
If we're only talking about this right now, I'm glad they got him too. Like, honestly, at the worst, he's deaf. So, honestly, that's real. And at the same time, only $5 million for a year. That's what's up, man. Like,
that's why I like the deal.
Did I interrupt you?
Oh.
So anyway, it's like literally like it's a good deal. 5 year, it's a $5 million deal, and it's good. I honestly, and what's good about our team is that we're emphasizing on depth this year. You can really see it this year. Like, you kind of saw it last year, but this year you can really, really see it. And I don't know if you guys see it, but he's kind of, it's not as severe as when Chip Kelly was with the Eagles. like making all these drug deals, like he's on his own fantasy football team. But I mean, it's a little bit. Ron Rivera's like playing chess a little bit right now, guys.
Oh yeah, he's getting it done. He's getting it. Hey, and shout out to Nicholas Rosario of watching it. Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. Diehard Bears fans. He's saying he consistently lets guys buy him. And honestly, this was one of the questions I had, and I presented it to you, Will. This is one of the questions I had last week. Is he's healthy, he's fine, he's great, he's played a couple years in Chicago, but then why all of a sudden I get they drafted Tevin Jenkins, but why all of a sudden you just up and just cut this guy? Like, what are you not telling me? And this might be what he's talking about, is that those speed rushers can get by him. He constantly has trouble if he has to go up against some of those speed rushers, and so that kind of messes with me. But at the same time, I like it because of the next move that we are going to discuss. Today we found out, and Ab, I'm coming to you first. Today we found out that we released, not traded, we released Morgen Moses and Jaron Christian. Ab, what do you think? Because this to me, just when I thought we were building up, now it's just like you're letting go. I mean, I get the cap, but I don't know, Ab, what's up?
So this is strategic right here, especially before June 1st. I think that's when contracts end, or it's the time to get that money off your books without it being like penalized or even spreading it over 2 years kind of thing. So like, and June 1st is in 2 weeks. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So like literally this is strategic. We got two guys that we really are trying to sign. We got Jonathan Allen. We got Brandon Sheriff. It's one of those sacrifices, but to me, it's a bad move. We literally went from offensive line being a quality part of our game, like, to it being in trouble again. Like, to me, this is what makes the move prior, the Leno pickup, bad to me. Like, it really does. Like, so that just means we don't have a starter next year on the books. That's all we did was we got a starter, a guaranteed starter, because they're both tough as hell. But one's on the left side, one's going to be on the right side. But now we don't have a left tackle, and that just means Ron Rivera is putting all his chips into Cosme, and that's essentially what it is. But in the end of the day, we're still going to have to find another depth guy next year.
Yeah. I think this is the sacrifice that Ron Rivera is going with, is like taking in Leno and putting Cosme out there.
Jumping in on my spot here.
Yeah.
I'm showing the order goes Ab,
Forget about it.
Tonight,
Forget about it.
We'll go, Will.
No, I changed my name to Mr. Negative because I do not understand the moves that were made this week, and I do not like them. And I've been I vouch for what Ron and them are doing, and I don't get it. Just like to what Ab said, I looked at it as saying Leno and Moses on the left and right side. You got Lucas and Cosme behind them to let Cosme develop, take over left tackle next year. And I feel like the line is better with Morgen Moses than it is without him. I knew they weren't going to get anything much in the trade. You think about it, we got a 6th-round pick for Eric Flowers. Big deal. They knew you weren't going to get anything for him. So at this point, to me, it just doesn't make sense. They have the ability to re-sign Jonathan Allen for next year and extend him. I mean, we have $22 million right now sitting there that I don't know if we really need that many. So I didn't like the announcement that they have allowed him to seek a trade, and I don't like the fact that he's not on the roster anymore.
I would agree. And since you already went, Anton, I guess I can go now then. Is that all right, or do you need?
Is that close drinking a beer for you all too? Is he just chugging away right
He's
now?
just stuck. He's just
that
stuck
birthday beer.
chugging it away. You know.
That's that birthday.
That's the birthday boy doing his thing.
Could you have a better frozen screen?
Right. Yo, we're definitely gonna get a shot of that one
honestly,
later.
like
Chugging away.
I think, like, honestly, Rivera is really making a SoundCloud throughout that locker room. Like, he's either making the sacrifice or he's not. Like, he's made so many tough decisions and carried through for the locker room itself. And I think, it's a scary move of him letting Morgen Moses go, or Morgen Moses go and picking up Leno. But it might be a sacrifice that we don't see. So we'll see what turns out. And I'm just, try and put my heart into what Rivera's doing.
Yeah, shout out to him. He knows more than we do. But like you said, I mean, Morgen Moses was reliable. He was here somehow, some way, even though he might have been hurt, even though we were like, the injury reports that he's questionable or negative, doubtful, he would show up and he would play and he would be solid and he'd do the job. So this, to me, this stinks. I understand if they're trying to go younger, Cosme, got, some of these guys in there, but personally, he was one of the rocks of the team. He was elite. He was just moral support. He was a good guy in the locker room.
Original Hogs 2.0, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he came up with that.
And this is, you care more about this too, Anton, than the rest of us. But wasn't he a captain too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was vocal. Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't
your guy.
He wasn't a captain.
He wasn't my guy. He wasn't my guy.
He might have been. I just know he was very vocal. He was a leader, whether he's captain or not.
I think he was a captain, and it's just.
He had a lot more heart with every time he sprained his ankle. He was back out there wanting to play. Like, he didn't give up and go to the locker room. He wanted to get back out there.
He's one of the toughest people on our team. If not the league, bro. Honestly, to me, this is crazy. It really is. It's like.
That's what I'm with you. Like, it's a tough decision whether to keep him because he's like injured or because he just doesn't want to play anymore.
Toughness is contagious, and that is what. And honestly, that's what you want with your team. You really do.
Mm-hmm. What surprises me about it is Ron has clearly flipped the culture. He wants to get those bad apples out. But Morgen Moses is not one of those guys. He's the guy you want. And if anything, Morgen Moses is the guy who spoke up for Trent Williams, spoke out against the previous training staff, saying how bad they were. Like, he is the exact opposite of what Rivera's been trying to get rid of. So that's what has me so confused over this.
Are we thinking this might be a Dan Snyder move?
I think it's more of a sending a message. I don't know what message, but basically saying like, "Hey, you can be a starter, and we'll get rid of you." Type.
Yeah, so like nobody's
Snyder move.
Well, nobody's job is safe, essentially.
I mean, but I don't think because June 1st being that deadline, you wouldn't give up on a starter on the first 8 week of practice. Like, something has happened between that, this first week that he's like, all right,
we'll see.
Get him out of here.
And Anton, that's the other thing that I was kind of leaning towards is that maybe that they are waiting for June 1st. And maybe at June 1st, when, the new fiscal year and everything like that, maybe they're looking to make a potential move or something at that particular time. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense right now. I mean, we look at the Charles Leno thing and we're like, okay, it's interesting that they made this move. And now we understand it a little bit more. But now it's like, maybe June 1st, maybe we are still looking to do stuff. Everything that we have done, and shout out to Ab, he said this from day one, from the first show, everything that we have done, we've done quietly. We've done at the last minute. We've done, we've taken it. We're not making all the big flashy moves. We talked about that with the draft. We're getting just, this is the stud guy, the Brevin Jordans, we get the next guy, the John Bates, or you know what I mean? Like, we didn't, with the exception of De'Ami Brown, we didn't really make these big eye-popping moves compared to who we could have gotten. So I think with this, he's kind of just going with the same flow, the same strategy, the chess move, like you said, Ab, and it's just kind of like, I'm picking this guy, I'm getting this guy, let me make this move, and I'm setting it up for this right here. So we don't see what's happening, but it's going to be good. Yeah, go ahead.
Another possibility, since we June 1st is right around the corner, maybe this is Ron Rivera saying, hey, my man, we don't see you in our future. I want you to get a head start before everybody else starts dropping off their teams, so people can start looking at you first before they look at anybody. Because literally, that's what we did with that safety from Miami, and with what we did with Leno. Once they got released, oh man, okay, all right, I'm gonna look at them real quick, and they jumped on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So sometimes it's about the opportunity. And if he's out there 2 weeks before everybody else is, bro, he's going to have a job tomorrow.
Exactly. Absolutely right. And I'm going to go ahead and go right back to you, Ab, because you just segued into the next one. Washington picks up former Dolphin safety Bobby McCain. Like it, love it, or hate it.
I like it, man. Depth pick. I don't like, to me, his numbers last, like he was a starter, that's good and everything like that. I just think, like, I don't know, maybe we all look for something different, but I want a speed guy. I mean, is he durable? Yeah. I mean, that's what's up. I mean, it really irritates me that Troy Apke is not good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's fast as hell, but he's just not good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to me, we need he's serviceable. And to me, that's good. Honestly, we can do some things with serviceable. And honestly, Miami's defense was nothing on us last year. Not one bit. So maybe us holding the quarterback an extra half a second, a whole second, will make this man a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? Right. So honestly, I like it. I think he's going to be there. He's keeping the seat warm for one of our rookies. That's my opinion.
And I agree. I like this move. I actually kind of love this move. And I think the word of the offseason for our safeties is the hybrid. You guys have both mentioned it. It's somebody that can play safety, play free and strong, play feet or strong, but that can also come up to that line and run support. I think that's going to be a huge help to that front seven. But it's like you said, Ab, with that front seven, I think we can make a guy that's average look good. You know what I mean? Exactly. Because of that extra second that he'll have, or because that pass is going to be, off balance or tipped or something because of how aggressive our D line is. So I think this is great depth. It's a great move. We know he can play. He's got speed. Let's go. And with everything we've been doing, Will, I'm going to come to you. I think this is a great move. I love it. So Will, what's up?
Yeah, I think it's a very good depth move. I'm curious on the player because when they signed him, they said, hey, he can play free, he can play strong. And so I listened to an interview with someone down in Miami, and they talked about how this guy came into the league as a strong safety. Brian Flores took over in Miami, and he wanted the same thing that Ron Rivera does, position flex. So they moved him to free safety for the last 2 years. And apparently the player, they even said, he's not comfortable at free safety. And so it's kind of an interesting, then you're bringing him really in to play strong safety and play free safety that he's not comfortable with. Is that really playing to his strengths? Miami apparently the last 2 years was last in interceptions and pass defense by their safeties. So he's not a playmaker out there. At the same time, they were really high up in coverage sacks. So dude has range to prevent the quarterback from throwing it, to let our D-line get there, then, ultimately that works too. The measure of a safety can't only be how many picks do you have. So I think it'll be interesting. Like you said, it's depth. He's got experience. It's depth. Why not? Let's give him a shot. Worst thing can happen is what happened last year where Sean Davis was horrid and they cut him, at training camp. Didn't even make the roster. So, sure.
Who? Who did you just say?
Sean Davis last year, they signed from Pittsburgh, and then
Okay.
everyone thought he would start, and then
Right.
he was terrible. So it's worth a look. I just don't have high hopes for this guy.
Right. And Anton, what do you think? I mean, you've been talking about hybrid. You've been talking about needing somebody in that position. What do you think, man?
I'm with them. Like, I think it's a good move for having him as depth. He's having his 6 years down in Miami. He wasn't so great, but he actually had a pretty good average on tackles, so he was always consistently getting to the ball. And I think with Ab saying about that extra time that's going to take the quarterback, I think him being on the ball or more pass breaking up opportunities might be there for them. So that front seven might help the quarterbacks, our cornerbacks, and our safety cover a little bit better, maybe able to get to the ball a little bit better. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, let me add this real quick. I'm sorry. So I'm not trying to take anything away from my man's at all, but we definitely need to put this out there. Cameron Curl, a 7th round rookie, bro, and I'm not saying he isn't as good as he produced last year.
Yeah.
But this dude was our defensive line made this man helped helped him
Be
with almost a Pro Bowl season. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So we cannot undervalue the defensive line at all and how they help the secondary.
Yeah.
And honestly, all we need to do is tighten up the second level, the linebackers. And honestly, this team could be number one. This defense could be number one. For real.
Oh yeah. And honestly, you hit the nail on the head. I don't have to say anything else with that, Ab. That's absolutely how I feel. I really feel like we are doing exactly what we've all talked about this offseason, focusing on our linebackers and our secondary. We have been working nonstop to get our linebackers and our secondary that depth, not even really major big name guys, but just the depth and different guys in different positions. I absolutely love that. But with all the moves we have been making, and I'm going to go ahead and go first on this one. Recently, we let go. Well, we let go earlier in the offseason, but he did finally get signed somewhere. My guy, Ryan Kerrigan, baby, gets signed by Philly. I got to shout out Ab because in the beginning of the year, Ab, he put up in the Redskins group, he's watching groups. He was like, yo, real talk, let's trade Ryan Kerrigan. Before the first game, and I didn't say anything. And then after Ryan Kerrigan got a couple sacks, I definitely was like, oh, glad we got him. And called him. But, yo, I was wrong. Yo, straight up, Ryan Kerrigan, I love him. But, hey, at the end of the day, you guys have more than told me enough on him. I understand for however great he was and all the years that he was with us. He's not that same guy. Our defense has gotten younger. It's moved on. And he only played, 18% of the snaps. I like that we kept him so he was able to get the record for most sacks. But on the flip side to that, Philly, come on, man. Philly's just going rogue. They just don't care if you're division, out of division. We're just going to do all this stuff. But Anton, I'm gonna come to you first, man, because this was our guy, Mr. Moral Support. This was locker room. This was the guy that we can hang our hat on, like Morgen Moses, and say these two guys will give it everything. These two guys we can depend on. So, Anton, what you think, man?
I mean, I don't like it that he left, but I am happy that he is. I'm glad he is moving on to a team that will probably give him more snaps of a chance. He was just done with us, man. We got our fronts. With him only playing that 18%, it just wasn't good enough for us. Now he's just gonna have his chance in Philly to see whatever he can get out of his system. I'm glad he's gone now.
Yeah. We say that now. We say that money will come to you. I'm still sentimental. I love what the guy did. I understand that we had to move on from him. But Will, what you think, man?
I I'm not sentimental. I'm pissed because I think this is a stupid decision.
Ooh, okay.
You cannot convince me that Casey Toohill, James Smith-Williams, and William Bradley King are better options. All 3 7th-round picks are better options as your number 3, your backup defensive end behind Chase Young and Montez Sweat and Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah.
Like I understood at the beginning of free agency when there was thoughts that he would get more money, but when the contract comes in and it's like 1.5 million, a little bit less than 2 with the incentives and whatnot, it's like I'm upset at Washington for not playing him more last year, being a little bit more of the rotation, and then telling him at the beginning of off-season, we're not resigning yet. I think they botched this. And we'll come see, late in the season, when we actually play him. I don't like the depth on the defensive line behind our 2 studs, and that's my biggest concern.
Gotcha. What do you think, man? I know what you think, but go ahead and tell us.
Come on, Ad.
You happy?
I'm not happy with it at all. I have to lean more towards Will's side in this argument. Like, remember earlier when we first started the show is when free agency started, when all these players start getting signed, and it's just like I wasn't gonna be mad. Like, I'm not player hating on, this team got him, this team got him. I'm mad about the contract that's so small.
Yeah.
Now we could have done it.
Right.
That's what I'm mad at with that. That's he could have been more.
It could have definitely just been a veteran minimum, and the way he was playing last year, I know you guys you're talking bad about his 18%, but to get 5.5 sacks and 18% of play, that is astronomical. Like, if you guys think about that, if he played let's say he played 100% of that, just doing math, he would have beat the all-time record for sacks in the NFL. He would have crushed Michael Strahan's record. And that's just something that you guys gotta kind of factor in. And we didn't have a spot for him, but we didn't make a spot for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got these several 7th-round draft picks, but I think we're depending too much on them. Like, you guys understand, we are 1 injury away from being an average defense. Like, think about it. Chase Young or Sweat get injured, we're average. Because now you just triple team that one side, and now you got this 7th-round pick trying to rush the passer.
Well, that's what happened when Chase got hurt. That that 1 or 2 games.
And so to me, we're doing all these backup moves, but we're not doing it for the defensive end. When we could have definitely got it for cheap from a hometown guy. Honestly,
I mean, I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you. So, and to me, I think that's what's wrong with it. Like, we need to if we're going to backfill, we're going to get quality behind our backup, our starters. Then we should have done it with defensive end. We should have started that at home, especially for $1.5 million. Right. Bro, man, and just to add on to your point, Anton, he's not going to be a starter in Philly, bro. He's behind Graham.
Yeah, Graham is one.
And Barnett.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be a rotation, but we could have made him rotation.
We could have done that to him, man.
They're going to do what we did: have the young guys play all the time, and this is your 18%. Come on in.
Yeah.
So, it's literally just going to be the same thing. Yeah. Especially if they're anywhere of the studs like we got, it's just going to be the same thing. So we could have done this, and I'm mad that we didn't do it.
That's
Yeah.
it. Honestly, and on to another point, just to add to what I would say, I told you so. And I'm just say that we should have traded him because now we get nothing for him.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And so basically we kept him for a year for what? Nostalgia?
To only keep him
Man,
on
F
for the big
nostalgia, bro.
giveaway.
Like
Could've
what?
signed him.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. You guys talk so much loyalty and everything like that, but loyalty does not make us win Super Bowls, bro. It really doesn't. And that's what we gotta stop playing. We gotta stop thinking with our hearts and thinking about it as a business too. You
Right.
have to add business into this, and it was not. And now we're talking about saving money, so we let go Morgan Moses when we could have traded Ryan
Trade
Kerrigan
him.
last year and saved $10 million.
Mhm.
And we're letting go Morgan Moses for $8 million, and he's here for another 2 years. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you guys are you're thinking like my ex-girlfriend. You're only thinking about now. You're not thinking about the future. Get out of my face.
I mean, I was for Kerrigan. I was for Kerrigan at the beginning of the year because he was consistent. He played his 100% when he was on the field, and letting him go now, it's like it makes me mad that they did let him go. Like he could have had, if we had put him in for more than that 18%. Yes, he could have gone for more sacks or had that opportunity. But I think with the strategy that they're trying to prove is, all right, we don't need just another veteran sitting on the field. Or on the sideline. We need to get like all these young guys, new guys in to try and learn how to play so they can get in and master the spot.
So to me, Ron Rivera is so good at being proactive. This move is really reactive. Like you have to look at it like this.
I get it.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like you're not jumping the gun and trading Kerrigan, and like you can really think about it and be like, okay, this is why Morgan Moses isn't here. This is literally why, because we're
just let both of them
pinching about money now. When we should, when it wouldn't have been an issue if we would have let go Ryan Kerrigan, traded Ryan Kerrigan last year.
Right.
What's the difference between now and this and now and last year though?
Could this be like our issue with like the Rivera and Snyder having this issue? Like Snyder would have like probably traded him last year, had to spin this issue, but Rivera's just kicking him off the team. Like, all right, we gotta let them go.
He's not kicking him off. He's a free agent, so it's not really kicking him off.
I mean,
but he was saying like, we're not going to re-sign you. I don't think this is a Snyder coming in. I don't think Snyder's doing anything right now, football-wise. I think he's learned to shut up and let the other guys do stuff. I'm just with you where like there is a better way to build the team, and we don't. It just goes back to, are we a better team with Ryan Kerrigan as a backup defensive end than without? And I sure hope these guys they've drafted show up and do something, because that depth is worrisome to me.
Right. And hindsight is 2020, but hindsight is 2020. But yeah, you are right, because that's why I mentioned that in the beginning, Ab. You definitely did say let's trade him right now for the money for and that's the moves that I think that's the moves that I think become a bigger issue now, especially when you see that. But even a couple of episodes ago, like a week or so ago, when he was still available, I was sitting here like, well, I mean, why not give him if he's still there, if nobody's picking him up, we could get him now. And that's the reason he got the super cheap contract, because of how long he was out there. You know what I mean?
I said
he didn't want to leave.
Right. No, he didn't want to leave. So,
and I'm gonna correct this. I said this 2 years ago, Sean. I said it 2 years ago. We should have traded Ryan Kerrigan. Just saying.
Well, if you get
his value was at an all-time high 2 years ago.
If you get the videotape, then we maybe can play that. But since we don't have the videotape, no, we got to move on. Like it, love it, or hate it. We like it, love it. Hope you don't hate it. And we're gonna move on. We actually talked last week on the show when my man Will Kramer, South Carolina's Eggplant, helped hold it down as my two other guys. One was traveling, one was working. Shout out to us. We're all making moves and trying to bring this to you, but life interjects sometimes. So my man Will and I broke down game by game the NFL schedule that came out last Wednesday. Briefly, I'm going to go over the schedule, and then we're going to highlight a couple games real quick. So first game, home game, we sit there and play the San Diego Chargers upstart Chargers. I love that. It's a good one. The second game, 8 o'clock game, we play the New York Giants. Then on my birthday, we go to Buffalo and play the Bills. The week after that, we go to Atlanta, play the Falcons. Then we come home and play Ab's favorite quarterback, Jameis Winston, and the New Orleans Saints at home. And then get that dub, yeah. And then the defending AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs come to Washington. We play them. And after that, week 7, we go to Green Bay, where we may be playing Aaron Rodgers or we may not be playing Aaron Rodgers. We don't know. Then we go the next week to Denver, where he's looking to go, where we may be playing Aaron Rodgers or we may not be playing Aaron Rodgers. And then we come home for the NFC wild card rematch to play the defending Super Bowl champion, Mr. Tom. I can throw a trophy from one boat to another, Brady. And that rematch. Then week 11, so in between 8, 9, week 9, we have our bye week. Week 11, we go to Carolina to play the Panthers. Week 12 is our Monday night game against Seattle. Then we go to SoFi Stadium, to that crazy stadium to play the Raiders. Then we come home on December 12th to play Dallas, start that 5-game division NFC East ending gauntlet where we play the Dallas Cowboys at home, then go to Philly, then go back to Dallas for the Sunday night game, come home in week 17 to play Philly, and then end the season at New York. What better way to end the season than getting on somebody that hopefully we can beat, because we've had trouble with them this year. And I want to go first and foremost and just start with that season opener. 2 upstart teams. We're definitely looking to see we can prove. We know what their quarterback is. They've got some O-line help. And then there's us. So Ab, Will and I have already discussed it, but we'll touch on it as well a little bit later. But Ab, what do you think? Going to the Chargers, having that season opener, I think that's going to be a game that garners a lot of attention.
I think this is the tone setter right here. You know what I'm saying? Like we go in there and we punch Justin Herbert in the mouth. I mean, honestly, there's still talk about us picking up Herbert instead of Chase Young last year. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I don't even know why they were dogging Justin Herbert in the first place. Like he was 2-3 years ago, he was the next Andrew Luck. You know what I'm saying? Like he was number 1 overall pick. Everyone was picking him, but then he's like, you know what? Chill. I'm going to school. I'm gonna finish school. And he had a down-ish year, and then all of a sudden everyone was bagging on him. And he said, nope, I'm still that man. I'm still that guy. Nothing changed. And honestly, he's a good quarterback. Honestly, and like dark horse MVP right there, bro. And to me, I like this man. He's good. And this is going, like I said, tone setter. If we can go in there and punch this man in the mouth, it's really going to tell people that we're no joke, and y'all better bring that game. Better bring that game.
Absolutely. Anton, what you think, man?
I'm with Ab on this. This one's going to be, our one. If we can show what we got on this first game, this is going to, rattle the whole, show about the West and the East, about, Clipper or the Chargers having that young quarterback running that good team with McVay. He's a good play caller, and him running against
team.
What?
Yeah.
Chargers have a brand new coach. You're thinking of the Rams.
You're good. Keep going. Yeah.
No, but I think Herbert, he was a great quarterback, and I think he's going to show out on, if we can hold him out on our defense, it's going to definitely earthquake this whole list of what we can do.
Yeah. And Will, what do you think? And I know we discussed it last week. I mean, this is definitely going to show what type of team we are in this opening week, because we are playing the defending NFL Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert. But at the same time, they're still young. and they made a couple moves offensively and defensively, but so do we. So, Will, what are you thinking about? Actually, I know we talked about it, but what do you think?
Sure. Yeah. No, I just think it's going to be real exciting. It's a team that we haven't seen a whole lot of, so that will be exciting. You know, it's not an NFC East opponent that we see so often. It's an up and coming offense against an up and coming defense. What better way to start the season and give you a good barometer of where you're at?
Yep, and that's a 1 o'clock game, and I think, like I said, I think that's going to be not a prime time, but it's going to be a game that garners a lot of attention. So, week 12, another game. Like I said, we have 3 games that are either on a Monday or Monday, Thursday, or Sunday night, but the 2 primetime games starts with this one. Week 12, Monday Night Football. We play Seattle, and Will, I'm going to go to you first. We talked about last week about all the troubles and all the stuff going around Russell Wilson and everything with Seattle. And they got a revamped team, but there's still trouble over there. And we talked about this particular point. We would be, week 12, starting to get into that playoff race. But we also mentioned we have a horrible record, Will, on Monday night games. If you could talk about that, man.
Oh my gosh, it's awful. 2-17 under the Dan Snyder era. I mean, all we do is S the bed on Monday nights.
Yeah.
The guarantee.
This new regime, because I think we played Carolina on a Monday night one time 3 years ago, and they beat us pretty good. So maybe Ron and his coaching staff know how to get guys ready for Monday night a whole lot better than Jay Gruden did, because that was awful. I mean, it'll be exciting, and who knows? Maybe Russ, while he's in town, can take a look at some real estate, look at where he might be able to move that nice family to. He's trying to catch that one more Super Bowl in the year 2022.
Let's get it. Let's get an answer. What you think, man?
I like that thinking, Will. He needs to think of that, out there in Washington.
Schools are good in DC. You got to think of that.
It's a good one, and we don't get that many Monday night games, Thursday night games, but I'm gonna be hopeful that this time we can deliver against Seattle. We definitely have our hopes up. I will. So we'll see how it goes. I don't have high hopes for Seattle this year having a good team. Period.
Yeah. I understand that. And like we said, they got all that turmoil from the Russell Wilson stuff. Everything is still going. But, Ab, under the lights, you know what I mean? Prime time, Monday night. I mean, Sunday night's still a prime time, but there's nothing like Monday night. And like Will said, we're 2-17, man. Is this the year we change it? I mean, Seattle's kind of messed with us the last couple times we played them. So what are we thinking?
Hell nah, this don't change, bro. Like, not one bit, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this too. Seattle's not gonna be good this year. I don't see it.
Right.
I don't see it. I don't see them being good. San Francisco's coming up, and the Rams look like world beaters right now. You know what I'm saying? And
Arizona
everyone
too.
always talks about Arizona like they're the second comeuppance, you know what I'm saying? Like they're just right there, but they're never there. So, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think Seattle, like all 4 teams, is not going to make the playoffs. And I think Seattle's bound for a layoff. They're bound to be bad. Like they can't be good 9 straight years. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Bad year that they were counting for.
What you say?
So this is going to be that bad year we're counting out of Seattle.
I honestly think it. I'm trying to tell you, all you need to do is have that bad bug in the locker room, and that'll mess up a team real quick. They're going to be a top 10 pick team next year, and that's when they'll start talking about trading Russell. You know what I'm saying? Because of that bad bug that started last year. And I'm trying to tell you, they're going to be bad, but they're still going to beat us, bro. Like it's going, it's still going to happen.
After all that,
it's going to be Superman Russell coming through and winning the game for them out of nowhere.
They just don't look like they're going to be bad because they're not going to be on the same page. But it's not going to be bad because they're a bad team. Does that make sense? a whole
Yeah.
bunch of like
They got
3-point
performance.
losses. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's going to be a bunch of that. And to me, I just think they're going to beat us until we show different. Like if we get to week 12 with a like a 8-4, 8-5 record, something, or no, well, not, that don't even make
Yeah,
sense.
that's not good
8-3, 8-3 record, then yeah, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But yeah, no, I think you're right. They Seattle, we have not played them well recently. We had an opportunity to beat them last year. That was with Haskins. That's before the whole strip club incident and all that stuff. But Seattle is just, and now that we're be under the lights. But Anton, Ab, I'm coming right back to you because week 16, we're gonna be under the Sunday night lights, and it's gonna be in Jerry's world against Dallas in a game that will have major, hopefully for us, major playoff implications. I personally think we're going to get this dub at this particular time. Yo, Ab, what do you think about this game Sunday night?
On Sunday nights, it's a potential flex time, right? This is, I'm gonna call it right here. This is going to be a flex. I think they're going to flex on us, and that's what happens. I think it's going to be a flex right here. I don't like. I've said it before, but this 5-game skid of division rivals as ending the season, that's not a good look, man. It's there's no way we can keep that intensity 5 straight weeks like that. It's insane. And and you got to look at some of the games. Like there's some tough games before this Sunday night game, bro.
Yeah.
So we might not even be in the conversation for the division by then. So they're going to be like, look, there's going to be a lot more attractive games out there.
Yeah.
Even though we have a rivalry, this is a flex game. I can see it being a flex game. And it sucks, but I can see it being a flex game.
Yeah. Anton, man. Yeah, we're going to be in Jerry's world.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
yeah,
this is literally in the middle of all those division games. You know, we can either have all that motivation from, beating them at our home and take it to their house, try and beat them again. We did it last year.
Right.
So, we can try it again. I think we can do it. It's going to be tough, going from going Washington to Philadelphia, then to Dallas. It's going to be tough for that being on the road and not really having that rest period like they want to. But that's all I can see. But I think we're going to pull through. Like, we're going to have that motivation of having the 2 wins last year and take it into this year.
Nice. And Will, what you think, man?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this game one bit. Like end of the season, we just played them 2 weeks ago. It's at nighttime. Nap. No, thank you. Don't like it.
Yep. So hey, look, and like all three of you guys alluded to, that's going to be the third game of our 5-game divisional gauntlet at the end of the season. Where right now we're at home against Dallas, we go to Philly, we go to Dallas, come back home to play Philly, and then end the season at New York. And how are we supposed to do that? Like, I mean, that's
a lot of traveling, period.
We always pinball off each other in the NFC East. So we might as well be called the black and blue division because we're always not going to decide whether, we beat Dallas and New York beats us, we beat Philly, Philly beats Dallas, Philly beats New York. That the way it is, we always are pinballing. So to have it the last 5 games of the season is crazy. It's crazy to me. I don't get that. Will, like, can we survive this? Like, what are you thinking about this, man?
What it shows is that the schedule makers of the NFL do not think there's that much separation between these teams. And so they want to bring up as much hype and drama as they can. Looking at it, I think best case scenario for us is that by the end of the season, Philly's season did not go the way they wanted it to. And they start thinking about, well, what do we have? Because, everyone will have 5 division games to play. So it's up for grabs when that starts. But, potentially if there's a lot of losses on Philly's end, maybe that will make it a little bit easier. But I think it's just good. It's unheard of. It's unprecedented unprecedented, and it's going to be quite the challenge. And like you said, I mean, they're just going to beat up on each other, and it's who can survive. And that last game in New York, man, golly, could they set us up worse?
Yeah, exactly. Anton, I'm coming to you. We out of the last 5 games, 3 of those games, like you alluded to, are away. Going to Philly, going to Dallas, then going to New York to end the season. Golly, man!
Yeah.
Like
We couldn't have any of those like back-to-back home games, like
right.
to get some rest period at all. No, we're traveling each week back and forth. So yeah, it's going to be tiring. It's really going to be mentally like straining on all the players by this time. It's going to make or break a lot of the bigger players if they're going to like start pulling everybody, amping them up. Like, hey, we got all these games, boys. They win 1 or 2 and they start carrying that steam. Are they going to, lose it on the road when they go to Dallas?
Right.
Or when they come back home and they're like, man, we're so tired, we can't even play right, against Philly. I do hope that our stars shine. And, like I am, Mr. Morale, they hype up the locker room and we get through it and tough it out and be like, yo, let's finish out this season with all these games and win them all.
Yeah. Hey, and Anton, man, that's all we wanted, man. We just wanted you to own up to your name, man. Mr. Moral Support, the morale guy. You could be a captain. Anton, you can wear the C right there, but exactly. But it's like you said, it's gonna come into that. But like Ab, you alluded to earlier, before even getting to those 5 games, I'm going to throw you the 7 games that precede that. We are at home against the Chiefs. We go to Lambeau. Then we don't know how Denver's going to be, but we might have a little easy week there at Denver. But we're still going to Denver, which is Mile High. Then we come home to play Tampa Bay. We go to Carolina. On Monday night, then we have to play Seattle, and then we got to play the Raiders in Las Vegas. Coming into that, so if we get slaughtered in that little run, this could actually save us if we're able to win. But I can't even fathom that when you really think about it. I know we won the division, so we're going to get that top tier schedule, but still, man.
They didn't give us any hope.
Nah, and right before that, it's the New Orleans game. Like right before the Kansas City game, it's the New Orleans game. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But, the W.
Yeah, let's get it.
Like to me, like we could easily leave that 7 games you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Losing 5, man. Yeah. Easily. And Carolina. And I know Carolina, they don't seem like they might be a tough team, but they always play us hard. They when we had to win the Carolina game last year, they beat the brakes off us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like we couldn't build. Like Carolina plays us hard, and there's no like this is not a good setup. I do not like it, not one bit. And just like you were saying, Sean, the Giants at the end of the season, bro, they do not want us in the playoffs, man. Like they don't. I'm calling it a conspiracy right now. Damn it! Like, I'm making it known right now. It's a conspiracy against us, man. We're being bamboozled. Like they don't want us in there, man. It is all set up against us. I'm not liking it one bit, bro. Not one bit.
Yeah, I just hate all that travel, man.
You're right. Hold on.
Hoodwink, bro.
Give us all these bad games back to back. Yeah.
Bamboozled, hoodwinked.
You know? Hey, let's get it out there. I was calling NFL schedule a conspiracy. It's against us, man. It's fact. Okay? Now it's out here. It's crazy. But on the flip side, if we are on that bubble coming into those 5 games, and we could hit an RG3 type stride where we go 5 strong, that
7
would be
strong.
or set right. But if we're able to do that, that there leaves no doubt we're in the playoffs. Right. We will then have won the division, and so I like the potential of what this could bring us. If we can go strong going into November and December, into the winter, and come into those playoffs hot, I'm saying divisional round, baby. At least, let's get it.
It could definitely turn us from last to first. It really could.
Yeah. So I definitely love it. And check us out, ladies and gentlemen. Check out our last episode where Will and I broke down game by game, wins and losses. I know the guys haven't been on the field yet. Some of these guys don't even have jerseys and any of that stuff yet. But we definitely broke it down. We went through game by game. We will definitely be doing that in the future as it gets closer to the season. Guys, just stick with us. This stuff I know we're far away. So a lot of you guys that aren't huge Washington fans, we appreciate the love. You've been watching us, and I know a lot of this stuff is the vegetables. And we're getting all the seasoning, all this stuff to the meat. The meat is when the season comes, when August comes, when September comes, and we're going to games. Mind you, October 10th, Ab, we might need to hit that Saints game. Because we need to get you talking to your boy Jameis.
I'm trying to tell you guys, Jameis is going to win the starting job. One. I said it. One.
That's one.
One and two. Pro Bowler.
Shaking it up over there.
Wow.
No chance.
Pro Bowler. Hey, how come I'm the only one making these predictions? No one else ever makes these predictions. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Practice.
You're not trying to be Skip Bayless.
Practice.
Come on, man.
It's practice.
Make
a prediction, man.
Oh, we predicted the whole schedule last week. We went game by game on how the whole schedule is going to play out the whole nine. But some of your predictions are super far left field. This Jameis Winston Pro Bowler? No. Come on, man.
Trying to tell you.
But hey, guys, we got to leave you. We've been on here for a while. We're so glad that you were able to watch and you tuned in with us. We love doing this for you every single Wednesday, Thursday, or whenever we're able to get down and get this thing going. And I want to shout out the people I got with me from South Carolina, Mr. Eggplant, DBU, all right? My man, Will Kramer, baby. He's here with us live and direct. Thank you, sir. All the way from the West Coast, where they can get down, baby. Yeah, Mr. Moral Support himself, Mr. Anton Benton. Yes, sir. Got to show love. And we got to show love to the birthday boy. You know what? My man, Mr. Shirtless Wonder, Mr. Moist. Hello, baby.
Let's go.
And you already know who it is. It's your boy, Sean Spencer, one half that dynamic dude of Let's Talk Football, guys. Hey, we so glad that y'all came to join us this week, Washington Football Weekly. We will be back. We'll be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. Follow that Washington stuff.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. The line. New man Moses, so funny. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.